Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are doing the Hero Spotlight for Tristan, the final member of the Knights of the Council faction and the next legend of a rat hero to be introduced to the game. He can be bought with golden talismans, same with Thane Arg, but who are you going to select? We'll go over the hero, we'll go over his stats, his abilities, and we'll talk about how you can potentially use him and if he's worth going over Thane Arg over this character. So let's jump into it. Hit points come in at 6.9 million and speed at 249, which is fairly decent. Armor 137k, magic damage resistance 174k. Basic damage 1.3 million. Crit hit chance is 39%, so fairly high. And crit damage is 2.1 million, nearly 2.2. And here are the more in-depth stats. Feel free to pause it and have a look at anything you want. It is all there for you to use how you see fit. So we'll jump into the arena now, go over his abilities. He's got 3 abilities, a passive and a leadership. And yeah, see how much of a weapon this guy is. He's a range damager, so is he going to stand up to all the other range damages? Not hard, because not many of them are great. So jumping into battle, we have Tristan's basic attack. Heart Shot triggers the range damage class mark, deals damage to one target, deals additional damage to a random target for each other allied Knight of the Council. If the target has a shield, the damage to it is increased by 100%. So is this going to hit all 5 characters? Let's slow the speed down and... Okay, so not a horrible basic attack. Has the potential to do a lot of damage, can trigger the range damage at class mark. That is a lot of damage for a basic attack. So I'd rank it up there. It doesn't have a lot of utility. It's just a lot of damage and goes up stronger against shielded teams. So characters that can shield are Belladonna, for example. If you resurrect, then you've got Archons, obviously, Balthazar. So yeah, it's a decent basic ability. Next up, we have Tristan's first special or second ability on the side of the living. Light allies cannot miss, and their attacks cannot be dodged for 2 turns. No light allies can receive debuffs for 2 turns. Has a 20% chance per allied Knight of the Council to enhance all light allies' armor by 250%. So now we're getting into a utility ability, and it's fairly decent. So we're going to go ahead and cast it, have a look at the animations. Okay. Oh, okay. There is animations. I thought there was none. His Ghost Lady appears and buffs the whole team. So it's going to make Siegfried quite tanky against physical damage, as it's armor, not magic resistance. And is going to obviously do wonders for Librarian and Brynhild. I mean, if we come up with Brynhild right now and we attack, let's have a look. Let's just attack Lion Go. Bang, bang, bang. I mean, that was a combined 15 million damage, so not bad. Puts Lion Go to sleep. And cannot receive debuffs for 2 turns, so that's pretty good. Now, mind you, it is a buff. This is a buff, so you can remove it. I'm pretty sure it's a buff. Let's have a look. Yeah, block on debuff. So it's a buff. It can be removed. So it's quite powerful. You just need to protect your team and just watch out for characters like Crowley, for example, who can get rid of it. So yeah, it's the only thing to be wary of. Tristan's third ability is Raging Spirits. It triggers the range damage at class mark and casts the mage class mark on the enemies. And mage's next attack on the mark target deals additional damage. So obviously benefiting Librarian is going to do a huge amount of damage because he does a huge amount of damage already. So that's just going to be amplified. Deals magic damage to all enemies. If the target is a dark hero, then attack damage is increased by 35%. If the target is a renegade, then this attack ignores magic resistance. So ignores magic resistance. Okay. Anyway, let's have a look at the ability, the animation. So he summons his Ghost Lady and boom. Pretty nice. And they're going to take more damage now from Librarian when his turn comes around. So again, it's just another support ability. I think he's just trying to more so to amplify his team than himself actually being an absolute beast. He's just going to allow your characters to be tanky and do a huge amount of damage. He's a ranger, but he's a support ranger. So there's that. Moving into Tristan's passive Ghost of the Beloved. Each time another light ally receives magic damage, Tristan gains 1 stack of Ghostly Touch. Each Ghostly Touch increases Tristan's magic resistance by 50%. Each instance of magic damage received removes 1 touch. When the number of touches exceeds 8, they are reset. All debuffs are removed from Tristan. His initiative is filled by 100%, and Tristan becomes possessed for 3 turns. While under possession, Tristan cannot stack touches. He also cannot be debuffed with magic abilities or marks. All magic damage received is reduced by 100%. Tristan's attack reduces target's initiative by 25%. Possession cannot be removed or blocked before it ends. A lot to it. There is a lot there. So essentially, when allies take magic damage, his possession increases. When he gets to over 8, he just becomes a little bit of a weapon himself. So what you really want to look out for, though, is on a Knights team, Tristan's attacks reduce initiative by 25%. And if you remember, his basic is hitting 5 units. So it's a lot of initiative reduction for a basic attack if you can tee these 2 things up, which you don't really have to tee it up. You don't have to cast this. You just have to wait to 8 stacks. And yeah, it's just a lot of text. Long story short, get 8 stacks, become an initiative reduction machine. Essentially can't be debuffed, can't be applied with negative effects. And yeah, it's a lot for him, I think. Yeah, I would have to test it to see how fast you can get 8 stacks. And there's obviously going to be better teams to use. Like, for example, using this against the Beastmen, who have a lot of magic-based attacks, you could exceed 8 stacks quite quickly. I'm not sure about the Renegades and how many of their attacks are magic, but if you were versing Renegades with Bella Crowley, then maybe. Yes, it's a very interesting ability. The whole Knights of the Council thing love their stacks. Jean's got stacks. Brynhild's got stacks. Librarian has stacks. It's a lot. Moving on to the final part of Tristan, his leadership ability, Team Spirit. Allied Knights of the Council cannot damage their allies. Damage to allied light defenders is reduced by 35%. This number is doubled for Siegfried. No allied Knights of the Council can have their initiative reduced. For each instance of damage to an allied Knight of the Council, Brynhild gains 1 stack of Battle Fury. So you're going to get Brynhild stacks up pretty quickly. That's nice. Allied Knights of the Council cannot damage their allies. So that's specifically for Librarian. His AoE is not going to hurt your own team. Damage to allied light defenders is reduced by 35%. This number is doubled for Siegfried. So just generic damage reduction straight up. Very similar to Yuki. So Yuki also had the ability to just reduce damage to allies. And no allied Knights of the Council can have their initiative reduced. That's huge. That's massive. So very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to run a battle. I would like to do battles in a different video, mainly because I'd like to really look at the Knights of the Council, because they're getting to the point they're like goblins. There's a lot going on for every character, and they've all got their own thing, and I'd like to at least know what I'm talking about before I just start smashing enemies. So that is Tristan. He is the next Legend of Urat, and he does seem quite powerful. If I had to make a decision between Thanarg and Tristan, I'm going to pick Tristan because the orcs are fairly decent without Thanarg. I'm not saying he's useless, because he's definitely not. I just think if you're looking at it to expand your roster of usable teams, then Tristan, definitely the way to go. But again, I think it's going to come down to actual battle reports and seeing how he's performing in combat. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And if you're on the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.